You see, titles are like a signpost. We have the prophetic title, the title of a prophet. We have the title of an apostle, the title of a bishop, the title of a teacher, the title of a pastor, and the title of an evangelist. Maybe going also to titles like archbishop. Now, you have been in church, you have been in Christ. When you hear all these titles, sometimes your heart starts beating. Yes, you have high expectations because you know that these are gifts that are given to men by God. But the real question is, do you understand why titles are there? When you look at a title prophet, what do you see? What do you expect? Now, titles are like a signpost. They should direct you to an office and an operation. When you arrive into the office, you have to experience something. And this is where I'm taking you to. So you are in a journey, you are on a journey of faith, and you have a relationship with Christ. Because obviously these titles don't really matter, or these signposts, they don't really matter to a person who is not born again or who is not in Christ. But to a person who is in Christ now, when you hear these titles or see these titles, you must picture a signpost that is directing you to an office and operation. God gave these gifts, some apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, some pastors, some bishops, and all that and all that. He knew that you needed something that can direct you to an office. And when you come into the office now, be it an office of an evangelist, an office of a prophet, the office of a bishop, and other titles that some pastors and some servants of God are giving themselves to now, there is something that you must experience in there. You might see deliverance in these offices. You might see healing. You might see prophecy. You might see signs and wonders in these offices. It is okay. These things should tell you that there is something operating in there. But you shouldn't be stuck in what you see, but what you experience. You can see the signs, you can see the wonders, you can see the healing, you can see the deliverance. But don't be stuck from this point. Don't be stuck with and stuck at this particular point. Because if you get stuck here, you'll miss the real thing. So, what is the real thing now after seeing signs, after seeing miracles, after seeing wonders, and after seeing prophecy, healing, and deliverance? What is the real thing that you should experience? Christ. If you get into an office and you see everything and you don't see Christ, you are in a very, very dangerous office. You are in a very dangerous atmosphere. You are in a very dangerous environment. You must know Christ and Him crucified. You must get to a place where you say, I have seen miracles, I've seen signs, I've seen wonders, but I also have a strong experience with Jesus. Saul, on his way to Damascus, he saw a great light that shined. He fell on the ground and he heard a voice. And within the voice, there was an experience. Saul had an experience with Jesus. He was not just intimidated by the light. He was experiencing the Christ through that whole thing. So you cannot convince Apostle Paul otherwise. You can't preach to convince Paul, because there were those that were preaching around at that time, but he was not convinced. What needed Paul, who was Saul, is that experience with Christ. And right now we are sitting here. Some of you have been in church for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. You have followed all kind of anointings. You have followed all kind of men of God. You have moved from one church to another. Brothers and sisters, What you really need is Jesus. What you really need is Jesus and Him alone. If you go to any church, it might be a beautiful church, it might be a church with a charismatic preacher, it might be a church with a prophet, with a double arrow, double baton, suit or whatever, tall or short, eloquent or uneducated. All these things don't matter. What matters is, are they taking you to the experience with Jesus? This is the word that I want you to get into your heart from today, especially this very moment that we are in. If you gather in an environment that does not lead you to Christ, know that you are in danger.